The crypto market and XRP are rebounding. The gains are still coming. We're also going to hear from Chief Legal Officer from Ripple. Ooh, juicy news. New leadership at the SEC, earning rewards in crypto, utility news, and
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
that's right. Look back to the previous segment. I enhanced the green in my background to hopefully enhance the green on the screen. But before we get into the crypto news, like XRP bouncing back from a little bit of 220 action, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it at the beginning of the next video. By the way, happy hump day, everyone. Lawn Bear says, I don't even own crypto. I stumbled on this channel and I can't find the exit. I like it here now. I love Big Brother. Well, thank you, Lawn Bear. I bring you news all across the economic atmosphere and across the globe. Yeah, flat earthers, what you gonna do? Suck on that. It's a globe, not something flat, except north is always up. Steve French Cougar says, hello from Quebec, Canada. My favorite cryptos are XRP, HBAR, ADA, and Link. Well, bonjour, mes amis. By the way, my favorite place in Quebec, Hauteville, not Basseville. Just throwing it out there. I've been to Quebec plenty of times. Was even there for the mega anniversary celebration with my wife about what? Has it been what, like 10, 12 years ago? Stoy and Darkov says, hi from Bulgaria. XRP is your favorite. Let me know where you're watching from and let me know your favorite crypto down below. Bitcoin sitting at 93,817. Come on, BTC, give us some 95,000 this week. We've been good. We held through Easter, E1796. If ETH were to go above 2,000, it would really help out the alts. XRP at 223, SWI at 296, XLM at 26.9, Doge at 17.9, Dot at 411, while Pi's at still a piece of shit. Okay, in the United States and also a lot of places in Europe, you can't get yield on stablecoins. Well, guess what? Now you can get rewards. Okay, so we're finding ways around some of the SEC's rules, and this is one way of doing it. PayPal to launch rewards programs for hodlers of PYUSD. The company expects to offer 3.7% annual rewards. Okay, that sucks. Okay, getting rewards is cool because, like, let's say you could park your XRP somewhere and get some rewards. You'd be happy with that, right? Okay, cool. But you want to make sure that those rewards are worth the risk of you parking it somewhere. 3.7% sucks massive balls. You know what that sounds like? Like this. Yeah. 3.7% for parking some PYUSD. Dude, stables out there are offering some big juice. 8% up to like 14% for most projects. 3.7? Use some stingy MFers over there, PayPal. Users will be able to immediately use the rewards to send to other PayPal or Venmo users, fund international transfers, exchange for fiat, or convert to other cryptos or currencies or make purchases. Consumers and businesses use PYUSD. Okay, look. You can read the rest of this if you want. It's linked down below. I'm bringing this up because Ripple's got their RLUSD, and we also got a bunch of other players out there. Circle's got their USDC. I want to see what other players out there are going to be doing with rewards when it comes to stables. I also want to see what happens when it comes to Congress and stables, and when it comes to Atkins' new SEC leadership when it comes to stables, and if we can earn some interest. Because right now, you can park your cash in a bank, and you can earn some interest on that parked cash. But, you're not allowed to do it with stable coins. Well, why the fuck not? You're going to give banks more juice? That's bullshit. You want money to flow into crypto? Start letting us earn some juicy yield on assets that are parked. It's only fair. All right. I've been watching YouTube, been looking, and a lot of players are saying that Jerome's going to cut rates on May 7th, 14 days away. That's 2 weeks away. We're going to be live streaming. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out. But you know what? It's a trap. 93% chance that he's going to pause. So when you watch those videos out there that tell you Jerome's going to cut rates, he's not. Listen to this. Star Wars had it right. Admiral Akbar, help us out.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 27.
It's a trap.
And don't fall for that trap. He's going to pause in May, then go to the June contract and look at this. You've got a 60% chance that he's going to cut it a quarter. So just wait the month for the June contract. That's 18th of June. And yes, we'll live stream that one as well. Let's keep learning. You want utility in crypto? I've got one. It comes from a very odd place, but I think you're going to like this idea. Yeah, I think you will. Meme coins, NFTs, gagging yet? Well, this won't make you, well, it might make you gag, but look, this is utility. Listen to this. Just hear me out. U.S. president to have a private dinner with top 220 Trump meme coin holders. Okay, so basically what Trump said was this, all right? If you are the top 220 holders of the Trump meme coin, you're going to be invited to a gala dinner with the U.S. president. Cool. If you are a top 25 holder, you are going to receive a private White House tour. That's a cool utility, right? You own a certain meme coin, you get benefits. What if I had a meme coin? Okay, let's just go in the hypothetical world, okay? Everyone do a quick bong rip, do really quick, like, maybe like a Boilermaker or something like that. Maybe do a cannonball, do whatever the hell you like to do out there. Do a ladder, I don't give a shit. Maybe you should have done a ladder a while ago so it gets in your system, okay? Because we're gonna go in the world of imagination. Let's imagine that Klaus does a meme coin, and I'm like, yo, the top 10 holders of the Klaus meme coin gets to party with me for a night. Would you be interested? That would be some utility to owning the coin. It wouldn't just be bullshit speculation. You get to do stuff like that. What if I said the top 2 holders of the Klaus meme coin get to go to Guatemala with me? Oh, utility. That'd be freaking cool. There would be a reason for you to be a holder. What if I said I pick a random owner of the Klaus meme coin, and that random owner of the Klaus meme coin gets a prize package of blah, blah. Like, you see what I'm saying? More to it than just speculation of the value going up, but some actual utility to it. Trump is like, yo, top 220 holders, you get to do a dinner with me. So if you're a Trump fan, you get something for owning the token, not just hoping it goes up in value. I think that's really cool. I could always do a, hey, top 100 holders of the Klaus token. You want a behind the scenes video of how I actually make this? You want to see what the whole studio looks like? You see what I'm saying? You can add utility to meme through creative methods like this. Now, I know some of you are not Trump fans. I just use this as an example because a lot of people are like, yo, what are we using some of these meme coins for? Well, Trump found a way to use a meme coin. Now, listen to this. This is why I'm bringing this up, because we talked about utility and we talked about speculation. Since this happened, okay? Since this dinner offer first happened, the Trump token rocketed up 50%. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So since that quote, like utility, since that reward or prize mechanism was announced, all of a sudden players are like, yo, I want to get into that. That's some usage. So it isn't just speculation. There's actual usage behind it. And I think that's really cool. All of a sudden I'm like, yo, random token holder of the Klaus token gets my Super Mario 1989 card as PSA 10 Lava Lotus. There you go. All of a sudden, maybe there's a PSA 10 card as Mario holder out there, and you're like, yo, I kind of like Klaus, and I like Lava Lotus, and I like Mario. I want to get in on that. So how cool would that be if you could stake your stable somewhere, get some juicy yield, put your XRP, XLM, HBAR somewhere, get some juicy yield, have some meme coins, get some utility out of it, maybe a dinner, maybe a tour, maybe some behind the scenes action, maybe some feet pics. I don't fucking know what you're into. That'd be awesome. Maybe more projects out there should actually add this kind of utility to their projects, and then maybe they'd get some juicy price action. Let's keep learning. Ripple CLO, I got to admit, I like the jacket. I do. I like the soft blue. Very casual, especially with the unbuttoned top button shirt. Well done. I do believe, though, he could have used a little bit of handkerchief in the pocket. Maybe a light colored handkerchief to match the shirt like a white one. That would be really, really cool. Just throwing it out there. But Stuart says, it's a new day. New SEC chair. Now, I'm bringing this up because of the earlier stories. See, PayPal, PYUSD, they had to offer rewards because you can't offer yield because that's considered a security. So now that we have the new SEC guy, okay, and this is what Stuart's talking about, this post right here. SEC Chair Paul Atkins on Tuesday called it a new day. as the Wall Street regulator in his first public remarks at the agency's new leader. Why is it a new day? Because Gensler was always known as the cop on the beat, the incompetent cop on the beat. Gensler regulated crypto by enforcement action, by threats, by like just being reckless, ruthless, scaring people. This guy, the new guy, Paul Atkins, is like, yo, we really want to work with you. We want to help you. How can we help you? That's what his approach is. That's why Stewart's like, yo, this is a new day. So now PayPal found a way to work around the old ways and regs. They don't want to waste time. Stewart's saying, yo, with the new leader, we're going to find ways so that you don't have to work around the bullshit. So Stewart's telling us, look, you got to give this man time. He just got confirmed. And let's be real here. I'm looking at my calendar in the bottom right-hand corner. It took 3 months since Trump got elected to get this dude in office. For real. Talk about how slow the United States government works. By the way, you can read all this stuff. It's linked in the description down below. This is from Tom Emmer. And Tom Emmer basically talked about Gensler being an incompetent cop on the beat. Because remember, Gensler didn't stop FTX, he didn't stop Celsius, he didn't stop Three Arrows, he didn't catch any of that shit, right? So even if he was a cop on the beat, he was a shitty cop on the beat. They were selling under his nose and he was like, yeah, baby, I'm regulating. No. They were selling under his nose. Let's look at the market. All right. Fear and Greed Index. This is very interesting because this jumped up quite quickly. We're at 52 right now. Let's zoom in on this because I want to show you something. Look at that jump right here on my screen, Aroni. Let's go to the 30 days so you can see how, look at that. Look at that inflection right here. We were hanging out in like the 30s for a while. High 20s, 30s for a long time. And then all of a sudden we boing, we go into the neutral zone. Now, in terms of BTC dominance, okay, a bit more dominant. We're 14 out of 100 BTC-wise. We're getting close to that 3 trillion market cap. Yeah, we're getting there. Volume, we're getting really juicy. So who's making money? Exchanges. Yes, girlfriend, exchanges are making money. Volume up 28% to 134 billion. I like that. Volume equals interest. And what else equals interest? Real utility. So if you're a crypto project out there, and you want people to be interested in your shit, build something in your project that people want. Don't just make some bullshit out there that other people have and slap a new name on it, slap some flashy graphics on it and call it a day. No, add some utility, add some juice to it that people want. I seriously think that if I were to develop a meme token and part of the meme token included hangouts, behind the scenes shit, meet and greets and stuff like that, people would be really cool with it. I don't think I'm going to do a meme token, just throwing it out there. But you see my point, though? Now let's talk about XRP, because I said in the beginning that XRP rebounded. Yes, we touched 220. In fact, let's do this. Let's go to the candlesticks. Let's go to 15 minutes, because, you know, sometimes more than 15 minutes you can get a little sore. Now, look at this, okay? We got some China announcement stuff, right? We got some Scott Bessent stuff. All of a sudden, the market started running, right? Now, look at this. There's some patterns here, okay, that are jumping out at us, and this is where we got to start paying attention, okay? This is where Crypto with Klaus starts to shine. Not only do I give you what's happening big time, zoomed out 30,000 feet with the markets, right? We talk about global markets, we talk about Fed, we talk about utility, we talk about chief legal officers and how this is a new day and how this is a different era with the SEC and workarounds. We're also talking about this. Near-term resistance with XRP. Look at these candlesticks right here. Rejected right at that 230 mark. That's something we got to pay attention to, okay? Now, this is near term. It doesn't mean we can't break through it. Of course we can break through it. But 2 times in a very close time period, we rejected here at the 230, but now look at this. We got support at that 220. So where do you think my alerts are set right now? 220 on the low end, 230 on the high end. I've got a real tight range here. I like it when it's tight. Bet you do too. Now, the reason I have it on that tight range is because in this very short amount of time with Scott Bessent and his announcements regarding China and the tariff thing, the markets reacted to them, okay? We got a couple weeks, as I showed you here, with Jerome Powell and the Fed, so we got a little bit of time. Remember, the CPI data report is coming between these 2 meetings right here. Yeah. We're going to have to pay attention to that. So with XRP, this is what I noticed right here. All right. Market was like, no, we're not ready for 230 yet, but yo, we're not touching 220 again. This green candlestick right here told us we're rocketing right through 220, and you see that? Yeah, we went right from this candlestick right here, and think, these are 15-minute time periods. So we went from a low of 216 all the way right here to a high of 225 and a half an hour. We blew right past 220 and a half hour. Market said, yo, we'll support you, and the move is early. 230 on the high end, 220 on the low end. Let's see what happens. Volume, bonkers. Back up there, almost doubling in the last 24 hours to 5.89 billion. Are the Koreans getting hot in this action? Let's take a look. The Koreans, no. Yeah, they're buying $500 million, but the Binance USDT pairing is still higher, 0.6 billion. And we've seen that what? The Koreans buy the dips, the Binanceers buy the tips. Binance has been very bullish, right? The Binance pairs, the Binance markets have been very bullish in regards to XRP. I shared that story with you about a week ago, where the Binance market is probably the most bullish market in regards to XRP. They buy the tips, Korean ones buys the dips. So you know who to follow, right? Yeah, now we start learning how to time this kind of stuff, right? Based on volume pairings of certain markets. Oh, okay, this is starting to make more sense. So when you zoom out and you put all these pieces together, you start getting a better timeline on what to expect. And right now, oh baby, things are looking better as it appears that we're getting a finalization on the Trump and China tariff battle. You better drink, girlfriend. Tariff, drink again. Tariff. And I told you I enhanced the green behind me to enhance the greenage up on the screen. And I would also suggest that when you watch these videos, until we get the tariff drink wars settled, that you also have some water along with your booze of choice, or tasty bong rips of choice, because you need to hydrate with every time I say tariff as well. There you go, drink again. That's what the market's focused on right now. Now, if something bad happens, right? If China all of a sudden is like, yo, Trump, go F yourself. We're doubling down, 400% tariff. Our dong is bigger than yours. Well, then what do you think's going to happen to the market? We're going to go down a roni. But if both sides are like, yo, we're going to agree with that. Look, I don't have like two right hands, so I can't like shake my own hands. You know, I can't like do the Boys and Girls Club America handshake. But like, just pretend I got two right hands and they're shaking each other, and like, this is China and this is the United States. Like, look, it's an AI handshake. Ha 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 ha. And like, these are the two that are agreeing with each other. Then what do you think's going to happen in the market? We could start moving on up to that 250 mark. So right now, the market's saying, yo, 230 for XRP is about the optimism we can get unless we get some more juicy stuff. We're not going to get the juice from Jerome because, look, he's going to pause. He's not going to go anywhere until we really start seeing some things change. What are some of those things? CPI data. Well, we're not going to get a report until that meeting. No, the report comes a week after that meeting. Tariff stuff, he even said, look, I need to see how that tariff stuff settles up. Then I could also see what happens. We got to see what happens recession-wise. So you got some things in the works. But right now, we're starting to see some institutional inflows. Second biggest inflow day yesterday, by the way, since the inauguration. That's good. Retail trading was big yesterday as well. That's good. So yeah, I mean, we've got some good stuff happening. Let's just hope Trump and China play nice in the sandbox. No one pees in each other's cereals. And let's hope that the whole tariff war, hold on. This is electrolytes. I don't have to do it when I do videos. Otherwise, I'd be completely like brain dead by the end of the video. But let's hope that the tariff wars go well and that nothing goes wonky here, because we could definitely use more green on the screen. Let me know where you're viewing or listening from. Let me know your favorite crypto down below. And choo-choo what, everyone? I want to hear that echo at the end of the video. Choo-choo bitches.